This is ITV News Central. Good evening. A mother from Birmingham, whose daughter was killed by a dangerous driver 3 years ago, has won a battle for a change in the law, which means people who are banned from driving and go to prison will no longer be able to serve their ban while behind bars. Avril Child called the change a victory for common sense. Callum Watkinson reports.
Sarah Child died when she was hit along with her sister Claire by a speeding car in Great Barr. Behind the wheel, Amirul Islam. He was jailed for 4 years and banned from driving for 5. But the ban started on the same day as his sentence. So when he is released early at the end of May, he will only have to wait 3 years before he can drive again. Sarah's mother Avril has campaigned alongside West Midlands Police for a change in the law. She has now been told that legislation due to be in place by next Easter will mean bans will thereafter begin the day a convicted motorist is released.
Because of his arrogance and his driving, he killed my daughter and injured my other daughter, and he should be off the road for as long as possible. I was horrified to the fact that that ban was starting on the first day of his sentence, and I couldn't understand the reasons why that had to happen, when common sense says that ban should start when they're released from prison. You know, a ban is a ban, and if they can't drive in prison, what's the point in starting that ban from that first day?
Her battle, which took her to Westminster for a meeting with the Justice Minister last year, has won her plaudits from politicians and the police, who say it's an issue that families of those who die at the hands of the reckless on our roads often struggle with.
Trying to explain the disparity that has been there has always proved difficult to try and explain why this person is banned whilst they're in prison. But that's something now that we can move forward, and other families will realise that without Avril this wouldn't have happened.
Avril's a wonderful, grieving mother who never gave up, who said, in memory of my daughter Sarah, I want to ensure that no other family ever suffers the way that we have suffered. Today is an immense tribute to her courage, determination and persistence.
Remembered along with other road accident victims at the National Memorial Arboretum last August, Avril says she fought this battle for Sarah and the hundreds of others killed by dangerous drivers every year. Callum Watkinson, ITV News.
Officials at Walsall Manor Hospital say they plan to open a new 30-bed ward to try and ease pressure on patients and staff. The hospital is the latest in the West Midlands to declare a major incident after a surge in emergency admissions. It comes on the day the government rejected calls by Labour to hold an emergency summit. Angry MPs were on their feet in the Commons today. Our political correspondent Alison Mackenzie sent this report from Westminster.
Furious exchanges here in the House of Commons today. Labour insisting that David Cameron has a crisis on his hands in the NHS, but he prefers the word significant pressure. The spotlight tonight on Walsall Manor Hospital in the West Midlands. It has now been declared a major incident. That means that elective surgery, non-urgent surgery can be scaled back. All efforts into the front line in A&E because of the huge pressures they're under. These are the words tonight of the Director of Nursing, Catherine Holford.
Now the GP surgeries are back open, we need people to go to the GP surgeries and the walk-in centres first, and only to come to accident and emergency if it's a real emergency or it's a real accident. We also need people who perhaps are in the hospital waiting for patients' beds in nursing homes or residential homes to move into those places, and we're working very hard as an organisation with social services to move those patients out as quickly as possible so that we can free up the beds for patients who need acute care right now.
Another hospital with unprecedented demand, in fact what they describe as the worst ever in their history, is New Cross Wolverhampton. On Sunday they say 360 patients were seen in A&E in one session and 100 had to wait more than 4 hours, that national target which is so being missed as this problem ensues. But here in the Commons, furious MPs were trying to get across their voice, mostly from the Labour benches. This was Khalid Mahmood, the Birmingham Perry Barr MP.
Will he apologise to all those who have suffered and continue to suffer in AE departments across the country due to his mismanagement of the National Health Service.
I couldn't have been more clear. I regret every single person who goes to hospital who doesn't get the treatment they deserve. But our responsibility is to put in the money, which we're doing, to provide the extra staff, which is happening, to have a proper plan for joining up health and social care, which we're doing, and then to fund the Simon Stevens plan, which is the right long-term answer for our health service.
On the Conservative side, defence for those people who decide to go to urgent care centres and avoid clogging up A&E. There is great divide in opinion on this. It's being described as a political football, but the Labour Party is saying it's about people, it's about pressure, it's about the real things that matter. Alison Mackenzie, ITV News, Westminster.
2 men have been arrested on suspicion of murder by police investigating the disappearance of a woman in Coventry on Christmas Eve. 34-year-old Samina Imam was last seen at work at Costco in Torrington Avenue. Police say a 38-year-old man from Leicester and a 40-year-old man from Coventry have been arrested as part of their investigation. A cordon has been put in place at a property in Hewenden Drive in Leicester while a detailed search is conducted. A public meeting has taken place to try to persuade Birmingham City Council not to impose cuts on the new multi-million-pound library, which has only been open for just over a year. The council says it has to make the cuts because it's a choice between social care, emptying the rubbish bins, or keeping the library fully open. Mark Goff reports.
When it was opened in September 2013, it was designed to be iconic, a symbol of civic pride. It's been described as the People's Palace, with the aim to put books and learning at the heart of people's lives. And it was a sign of its prestige that Malala Yousafzai, now a citizen of Birmingham, was asked to open it. But now it's become hard to balance the books. The library cost almost £189 million to build, and interest on the loan is £1 million a month. The city can't afford it, so spending has to go down.
Libraries are for young people, old people, for scholars, for young people coming in and doing homework, for people who can't access Wi-Fi anywhere else. And in this place, in this brilliant building that we've got here, this award-winning building, we have got all of those together. We really must reverse these cuts. They are so important to this city. A library is at the heart and soul of any community and its cultural life.
It was built at a time when the council was having to make £800 million in cuts. In its defence, Birmingham City Council says the decision to build it was made before the financial crisis.
We need to be clear that the proposals at the moment, no decisions have been made, but we can't continue to fund everything we used to fund as a council. And the reality is we just don't have the money to do anything other than the social care and the picking up your rubbish from your street services anymore. It's difficult to make those decisions after we only opened it 12 months ago, but there are just no services we can protect anymore.
The question now is not whether it should have been built at all, but how to keep it open.
Some football news. Walsall will take a 2-0 lead into the second leg of their Northern Area final of the Johnston's Paint Trophy. The Saddlers scored 2 late goals against Preston to seal the victory. If they hold on to their advantage at the Banks Stadium next month, they'll book themselves a place in the final at Wembley in March. Derby's new velodrome marina is now complete, and we've been able to see the finished article today ahead of its opening. It cost £27 million to build and includes an indoor cycle track, a sports hall and a state-of-the-art gym. Today, former Commonwealth gold medal winning cyclist Jeff Cook road tested the circuit and gave it his seal of approval.
Taxpayers may worry that it's going to cost money, but it won't. You know, it'll be so well used with this, and there will be world champions come off these boards. There's no question about that. We've got such a heritage of cycling in this area that it just can't fail. Just can't fail.
A wonderful facility, whatever the weather. Talking of which, here's the forecast with Lucy Kite.
What's in store for today? ITV Local Weather, sponsored by Centre Parks.
Hello, well it's all about the windy conditions as we head through the next few days. Brace yourself because Saturday we're expecting gusts of around 60 miles per hour across the Midlands. There is some sunshine in the forecast for tomorrow and bits and pieces of rain as well. Tonight we've got rain spreading south and eastwards. It's breezy too, gusts of 25 miles per hour overnight tonight, but with all those elements, with all the cloud as well, it's going to be a mild frost-free night. We are left with lots of cloud through tomorrow morning though, but in the afternoon, look at this, some gorgeous wintry sunshine to look forward to. Enjoy it.
ITV Local Weather, sponsored by Centre Parks.
More on our stories on our website, but that's it from the newsroom this Wednesday evening. Have a peaceful night. Good night.